hanging out. Just sorry, this is just this. I'm just whatever. Kind of getting into the whole spirit of the day. I'm only going to be on for about a half hour. About 3:30, I had to get off this because I got to take the dog out in the backyard to play with him. It's really, really cold here. It's at 28 degrees and the wind chill's about 15. I should be used to it, but for some reason, this cold in the mid-Atlantic where we live hits me a little bit differently than it does up in Wisconsin. Wisconsin, I can deal with it. Here, it's like, I think it's because it's a little bit humid here, a little bit wetter, and it tends to kind of hang out and get into your bones, if you know what I mean. Anyway, a little bit of stuff. Kay saw her farrier today, got her feet trimmed. She was a bit of a pain in the ass. She needs to, I need to get her out working, but it's just been really, really hard to get out to do anything with her because she's, you know, it's hard to get outside when it's windy, rainy, or muddy, and to get any sort of work done with the horse. And I do worry about her falling and hurting herself. I mean, that's the thing. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about Christina, Ariel, Lucasfilm jumping in there to defend her racism. Oh, thank you, man. Bowie's my guy, one of my guys. You all see my Ramones shirt? It's fucking awesome, man. Ramones shirt is like, I need a Sex Pistols t-shirt, but I do have a really cool poster that when I get my office done and we get the downstairs media room finally done, there'll be a lot of stuff I've collected over the years will be up. I just bought a really neat portrait of Han Solo, done by the same artist that did an Anakin Skywalker portrait for that. You did? Chris, I hate you. Seriously. I love hearing stories like that. You and I will have to have a conversation about that. They were, I mean, you know, I'm really good friends with Dana Lash, and we just talk about that music all the time. I mean, like metal and punk, and one of my favorite people in punk rock is Johnny Rotten, John Lydon. He is the most anti-establishment guy on the planet, and having him around to always throw a wrench into someone's establishment is kind of cool. You need people that are cynical about everything, I think, at times. And he really went after the Democrats this year, and it was like, you know, he's no Republican, but he was like, Trump is doing a good job. You know, I think he sees it the way blue-collar working people who don't have a lot of money see it. Oh, cool. So anyway, Ichibaka talked about this. Bounding into Comics talked about this. Jeremy at Geeks and Gamers and others notables talked about this. But the official Star Wars account posted they stand by Christina Ariel's racist tweets. Fine. And as Nerdrotic posted back to him, can you please explain, I'm paraphrasing, the incredible shrinking, disappearing thin men off the Chinese posters? First off, I'm going to say this is a theory, but I think it holds a lot in it. We have been told that Kathleen Kennedy warned Bob Iger if they tried to push her out, she'd burn the place down behind her. Kind of looks like it's on fire right now, don't it? With this constant barrage of fired Gina Carano, no mention of James Earl Jones for his birthday. Now we've got not one crazy black woman, just in Ireland. One crazy, there are actually two crazy women. We got Claudia Gray too. I'll do a separate live feed about the blue-haired land whale. She really has embraced that too, by the way. I mean, I don't know if you guys went and saw the picture I posted on the community page, but when she was doing this, she's got the lesbian haircut and it's blue and it's like, embrace the suck, bitch. Anyway, we've got those two, and now we've got this woman named Christina Ariel, who is apparently hosting the High Republic show. All right, everybody, all 5 of you who are in this chat right now with me. What in God's name are they allowing this woman to say the things she says? I'm talking to Maze right now. Because to me, it's hurting The Mandalorian. And I think that's exactly their intention. If we can't have Star Wars, no one can have it. So, you've got these 2 angry black women, though Claudia Gray, and so far Claudia Gray's actually not said a whole lot. But you got these 2 angry black women, the other authors from the High Republic, bitching and moaning and screeching. And of course, they're attached to the High Republic is Kennedy's little nest is Kennedy's dumpster fire. And it is a dumpster fire. I mean, let me tell you, being number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list, hey Birdie, is not that great. Let me explain why it's not that great. Because they probably bought it. They didn't earn it, they bought it. Okay? We know perfectly well they're not making any money off this. You got, is it Charles Soule or Kevin Scott screaming, oh my God, they're buying 200,000 copies. No, dipshit. The retailers bought those, and they can't send them back. And trust me, in a year, we're going to see those novels at Ollie's. Hey, Mazarius is in the house. By the way, this is the only soda I could find that I could tolerate here. 0 sugar. This is so gross. Hey, Antons. New Zealand. New Zealand representing. Welcome. You guys got some good red deer hunting there. I'd like to try that sometime. So they're not successful. We know that. All you gotta do is listen to the people. Oh, okay, Cat and K. All you gotta do is listen to the people that know what they're talking about. Ethan Van Sciver and the other comic book and publishing people that we know, that we talk to. All you gotta do is know what is talk to them. Oh, Anton. Okay. Hi, son. Hi, Captain K. And they will tell you this is not a success. They explain how these books are sold. They explain the fact that the impetus to sell them isn't on the publisher. It is on the retailer, all right? So we know it's not a #1 bestseller. We know it's not going to blow people's socks off. When they announced it and they started putting out, we saw the whiteboard, laughed at it. Dinosaurs and diversity. And then we saw the first artwork and we were like, what? Because it was bad. And then they finally release it after Mando 2 was over and Luke just walks in and just smashes everything. And everyone was just like, kind of like in awe at how dumb it truly was. These people lost their shit. And that's what's going on. Kennedy knows it's not working. And too many rumors are out there right now that they are panicked. Well, why are you working at Lucasfilm if you hate Star Wars? Why are you working at Lucasfilm if instead of trying to do good by George Lucas, you're trying to undermine and fuck up everything he created? Huh? And then you got Kathleen Kennedy hiding behind the skirts of two black women, and one of them specifically attacked white women. All right, that would be Christina Ariel. Go to Bounding Into Comics, read that. Go to Ichibaka. Go watch Geeks and Gamers when you're done here. I am staggered by this, that this is going on. And I do think that they are now on full press to take down the franchise. They know they're not doing well. They know Mando really kicked their asses. They don't want that to happen. They want, like I said, there are people out there that live for this. It's either I get everything, or no one gets anything. You understand? This is how they think. This is very, it's fascist in thinking, and it's also very childish. I mean, but if you go to look at Ariel's tweets, she's a very childish, uneducated, bigoted, better part of the word, bitch. Okay? She is. I mean, what are you going to do? Say she's not? I mean, come on. All right? So, and you know, Justina Ireland, we've talked ad nauseum about her. I can't wait till Gray jumps in, and then it's going to be like, oh boy, am I going to have fun beating her over the head? You know, Miss, I don't know which franchise I work for. But anyway, I do think that this is tied to what Kennedy warned Iger she would do. And I really think now is the time that Disney, start to just fire people, cancel projects, and do all that stuff, because it's ultimately hurting Star Wars. And that, I believe, is what Kennedy has wanted to do. Okay? She said it. I think she did say it. Doomcocks. Contacts have said that. Clownfish TV. Midnight's Edge. Heck, if they all confirmed all that. So I believe she did say it. And it's just amazing. So let's talk about the little conundrum that Disney's in now. Y'all remember the poster of The Force Awakens? We've got, let's see, I'll call it up. I'll get out of this. I'll call it up and I'll show it to you. Oh, please, what are you doing to me? No, it's not fierce, it's force. When I'm really in a quick thing here, I will tend to screw up. But I want to show you guys something. All right, let's go to the original one. All right. Okay. Now, I'm going to flip this over. There it is. See Finn? See how big he is? Okay. Now, I'm going to flip it to China. Here we go. Okay. See? He's faded off, almost disappeared. Now, I've talked about Chinese racism. I've talked about racism a lot in Asia. Now, you have to remember, I spent 2 years living in Korea. The Koreans, you know, they're a bit xenophobic, but they're not isolationists. I've also studied Chinese history. Chinese history it really is the hermit kingdom. They do believe that they live in the center of the earth, and they do believe that everything kind of revolves around them. They're also extremely xenophobic. So you've got a country on one end that doesn't want anything to do with the rest of us, which would be like, fine by me, trying to force this globalist push to them, which is really weird. But you got this dichotomy. And my husband spent a lot of time in Japan as a Marine, and he said the Japanese are quite xenophobic, and they have the most. I would say of all the countries in Asia, that's probably the purest Asian bloodstream is Japan. But they don't live on any continent; they live on an island. But let me explain something. The stuff I have just done in my research on Chinese racism is mind-boggling. You would never see, I'm going to tell you what to do. Go look it up. You will see it. It's on YouTube. It's on other places. There's an advertisement for a Chinese washer. And the advertisement goes, there's this woman there, and there's a black guy, and she just grabs him and throws him in the washer. And then he comes out as a Chinese guy. I'm going to tell you this. I am an American history. I've studied American history. I did a lot with, Native American history and the Plains Indian Wars, World War II, the gunfighters and all the rest of that stuff. I've studied Germany from 1862 to 1945. And one of the reasons is this: when you get into things like that, it gets personal. The reason why is because my dad's family originated in Bavaria. And my dad was a World War II veteran and my uncle landed at Normandy. My father dropped bombs on the Germans. I want to know why, in their early 20s, they had to go out and do that to our cousins. All right? So you get curious, and it's a personal thing. I've got cousins in Norway who are Quislings, for Christ's sakes. I mean, when my grandfather went back to visit his brothers and sisters, one of his sisters started bitching about the United States, and he looked at her and said, well, at least I didn't spend any time in prison, because some of those people spent time in prison for being Quislings, okay? Vidkun Quisling was the guy that basically said, here, Hitler, here's Norway, have fun. You can hide your submarines in our fjords, okay? And there was a Norwegian resistance, of course, and some of some of the family actually joined the resistance. Some of them were Quislings. Some of them who, kind of tried to fly low under the radar and not bother anybody, because things happen in thirds. Okay, in the American Revolution, a third of the people wanted to kick the British out. A third were loyalists, Tories, and a third were like, just keep us out of it. Just keep us out of it. That's literally the rule of the human race. And when I look at all that and I see racism and how it's formed and the fact that it's taught, kids are not born that way. You are not born to be a racist. Hey, great Jedi, but you are born to be a human being. And as a Catholic, I don't look at people as white, black, red, yellow, brown, purple, chartreuse spots. We are all made in his image. So I want somebody to explain to me what God really looks like. And I'm not talking about Jesus Christ, how he manifested himself to the world 2,000 years ago, okay? Because there's a specific purpose there. Then if you parse the teachings of Buddha, the Bhagavad Gita, several other great teachers within Eastern thought, and you double them up with Jesus, you can't tell who said what because they all sound alike. Do you understand where I'm coming from now? God manifests himself in different ways. So when I see people attacking somebody for being a different race, it's like that doesn't make any sense to me philosophically, ethically, or morally, okay? I wasn't raised that way. you know, I got a nephew and two nieces that are half Jewish. There's probably Jewish blood in my family on my dad's side, because our last name was Netzer. And guess what? That is actually an Ashkenazi Jew surname. Okay, we weren't Jewish or Catholic, but there you go. So I wanted to find out more about this. And, you know, I for my non-Western studies, I took Chinese history. And after going through, seeing what John Boyega has gone through and all the shit we've gone through with the Chinese, and you know, in New Zealand, you guys are a lot closer to those fuckers than we are. And I can't believe the shit they get away with. The absolute outright bigotry they get away with. What's really weird though, if you come to the United States and you're an Asian kid and you get really good grades, you're going to put in the back of the bus because some kid who's black, red, purple with chartreuse spots, who didn't get the same grades, is going to get your spot because they're purple, black, red, and you're Asian. So you're getting discriminated against. All right? Disney's got a problem here. You've got black racists, BLM, Antifa, SJW shit on Kennedy's side. And I think she's doing this deliberately. I think she told them, go for it, attack. And then you've got Disney's relationship with China. I just did a video. It's up. If you guys want to watch it, I ran loudly on that. Disney's relationship with China should scare the shit out of every one of us. I mean, the High Republic's actually got a separate thing for China where, I think Claudia Gray even wrote it, where they talk about a Jedi, a Chinese Jedi. There's a part of the galaxy that's Chinese, like China. It's set aside, it's isolated. They don't want to have anything to do with the rest of the galaxy. Of course, that doesn't go along with all of the galactic history we all know, right? And there's a Jedi there who's not with the Force. So he fakes it, I think. It's like, I literally am whatever. But here's the thing about, let's go back to Christina Ariel. Christina Ariel, Ichibaka just posted this, has receipts. But weirdly enough, all the tweets that were mean to her and saying racist things, the names are blocked out, so we can't follow who actually posted those. Now, for all you people who are not from the United States, there are a lot of hardcore leftists that fake racist attacks. The biggest name was Jussie Smollett. When, you know, at 2 a.m. and it was 16 below zero, he went out to go get a Subway sandwich and was accosted by two white guys in MAGA hats, he said. And they put a rope around his neck, and you know, it was your typical, you couldn't get more stereotypical than the shit that he spewed. And already, people are like, in downtown Chicago, there are people with MAGA hats running around. Chicago? You probably would see that in New York City. Okay, there are Staten Island, Brooklyn, a lot of the outlying areas are very conservative, a lot of the boroughs. But you're not going to see that in Chicago unless you go South Side Chicago, where Vince Vaughn is, and others are from. Vince Vaughn is a libertarian. He is probably maybe even to the right of me. I don't know. It's probably why he doesn't get any more stuff. He doesn't get any jobs. But he's basically made it known he's not a Democrat. But anyway, Jussie Smollett, gay black man, shows up with all this, and the cops investigate and discover it was a hoax. He paid two Were they, Maze, were they Nigerian? Two brothers from Nigeria to pose as his accosters. They're supposed to be MAGA wearers. I mean, and there are enough black people who love Donald Trump who get it. So and they just blow the racist element. They just, hi, pocket. They just basically blow any, argument that Donald Trump and the MAGA movement's racist because they're black people who are part of it. A very loud part of it. All right? Larry Elder, Katrina Pearson, Candace, what's her last name? A lot of them. Okay, so I kind of go, yeah, sure he's a racist. He's not, but whatever. He's got Jussie Smollett doing all this stuff. It's turned out to be a hoax. He is not the only person who's done it. Candace Owens, yeah. She's also very pretty. She also just had a baby. Congratulations to her and her white husband, which is something the SJWs really hate. But I remind you guys that the person my mentor when I was getting confirmed into the Catholic Church, Danielle Hollers, is a retired Army veteran with about 9 kids. She is alarmingly intelligent. Yeah, and her husband, Tony, is white. And trust me, she's run into they've run into quite a bunch. And it's not the white people saying all this stuff. It's the blacks who get upset by the white man. And it's like, what in the hell is, and they think, again, they're allowed. And they're not, but you can't convince them. It's like, no, you're not allowed to talk like that about anybody. Okay? Duh. So anyway, there are a lot of racist hoax crimes out there. I think somebody at one of the universities in Texas found what looked like to be a rope on their car, and they ended up being it was them that did it. That NASCAR, the only black NASCAR driver, was walking up to his garage and saw a noose, and it ended up being the pole for the garage. But they had to stop everything, trash the entire organization, because he thought he was being attacked over a garage pole. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why people like Christina Ariel with her "I've got receipts" and then doesn't have anything to prove to follow up on. They won't win, because pretty soon people are gonna be like, because when Itchy posted that and I saw every Twitter account blacked out, I was like, now, I tell you what, if it turns out to be a hoax, and I think it is, she will get fired. She will have to apologize, and then she'll get fired. Because Disney, that would be such a black mark on Disney. I can't even describe what a black mark it would be. It would be embarrassing for them. Okay? So, but this is just, it's pathetic. It's getting to the point where it's just like, obviously they feel that they have to do this. They've been after Gina Carano, and to a lesser extent Rosario Dawson, for a long time. Of course it was a leftist ploy. Look, Donald Trump's got nothing to hide. Everybody knew on the planet he was a playboy, a ladies' man. The whole thing about grabbing by the pussy, they love it. If you've ever sat around at a gun club playing cards with the guys, I've heard worse. And I just go, some of it was like But my attitude was, I want to shoot. I like these guys. I don't want to make them change the way they are just because I'm a woman. So I just kept my mouth shut. Now some people would say, well, you should have said something. That was sexist. And I would say, and then I wouldn't go back and shoot anymore. Okay? And then I'd lose their respect. Okay? This is, and I'll tell you something. I've heard women say a lot worse. A lot worse. I could tell you a story about this women's studies freak that I knew named Jackie. We used to call her Jack Off, by the way. And this guy that wanted to go out with her. And I was like, let's put it this way. The city would have been in awe of some of the shit I heard. And these were very obnoxious, hardcore, misandrous bitches saying shit like that. Treating men like shit. And what was really funny is they got guys that actually enjoyed it. Jackie dated a young firefighter who had to be 10, 15 years younger than her. And he loved it. I was just like, you know what you are? You're a fucking douchebag. You are a fucking, just a cartoon, dude. But anyway, yeah, so I wanted to rant about this, but I think that eventually, this Christina stuff is going to end up being proven a hoax. What I find fascinating is they keep doing it, they keep getting caught, and they never learn. Okay? They never learn. And it's like, what? It's just, but I do believe that this is connected to Kennedy telling Bob Iger, if you move me out, I'm going to set it all on fire. What she's doing right now is she's trying to destroy Mandalorian. I think that's what she's trying to do. I think when she saw how good it was doing, and then at the very end, Luke comes crashing through the door like the Kool-Aid man. And it's like, it basically broke that part of Lucasfilm. They are broken. They are freaked out and they are broken. They can't go after Mark Hamill, but I wish they would. That would be funny. Then you see the shit hit the fan. And then he would learn that the side that he champions hates him because he's a white man. I know. She has to. This has to be the ploy. In Mazarius, if it turns out that all this was a hoax. Oh, I know. That all this was a hoax. And this Christina Ariel was encouraged to do it from above. Shit rolls uphill then. All right, shit rolls uphill. Faking racist attacks, I believe, is a felony. And you will have charges brought. Look at Jussie Smollett right now. All right, could you imagine if you're the cop and you're looking at him going, two white guys in MAGA hats, and then all of a sudden these two Nigerian guys show up, and they were supposed to be the ones to have done it. So they were it's like, wait a minute. Could you imagine? I'm like, when that happened, I was like, fake. We've had Muslims fake racist attacks. We've had blacks do it. We've had gays do it. Oh my God. There was I can't remember where she was, but there was a lesbian, I remember, who got caught faking an attack on her. They so want to show one part of the country being homophobic, racist, la-di-da, blah, blah, blah. And we're not. So they have to fake it. And again, if this turns out to be a fake, and after those names are blacked out, I'm putting $1,500 on this island right now, and I'm saying she's going to get arrested. She's going to get fired, and whoever told her it was okay to do it, because she would have not have done it if she hadn't been told to do it. And if she just did it on her own, that shows incompetence from the leadership side. Okay? And I'm going to say this. If any of that happens, there's a lot of shit that's going to hit the fan. A lot. Disney can't afford it. As far as Disney's Chinese stuff goes, we'll see. Joe Biden is already not getting a honeymoon. All right. They're still threatening to impeach the president. I mean, I don't even consider him president. President Trump, he's not even president anymore, so I don't know how that kind of works if the guy's not president. The only reason why is they're terrified he'll run again. Okay? You know, and if he gets impeached, he can't run again. But I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I really, really don't. The Republican Party will just stop it. But I think when all this is over, there's going to be at least 3 parties, because there are rumors that Donald Trump is thinking about creating his own political party. That's going to fracture the Republican Party badly. Because there are a lot of people like me who don't like being treated like cannon fodder, and don't like the fact that we vote for people who don't represent us when they said they would. Now, we're lucky. My congressman's great, but our senator, Toomey, is a goddamn joke. All right. Hey, Dave. But anyway, I want to talk about politics. I'm just like this. I really do believe this Christina Ariel thing is going to end up being a hoax. I'm putting it out there right now that by the time this is over, she's going to be fired, and a lot of shit's going to go down. I really, really believe this, because they can't do this anymore. And I think the thing that really bothers me a lot is that the way a decent person like Gina Carano and, Rosario Dawson are treated. All right, 2 days, because for fucking made up shit, So anyway, I gotta let the dog out to play ball. Okay, so I'm gonna be out, and it's cold outside. It's about 30 degrees, and with the wind, it feels about like 15 or 16. And it's a wet cold, so it's really, really, really cold. Okay. I've been on here for a while, so if you want to watch a replay, please do. There's a video up at on the channel too. I dropped it everywhere except for Twitter, because I don't belong there anymore. Why? I don't belong there. I hate that place, but I don't go there anymore. Oh, thank you. Oh, Real Review. Hey, how you doing, man? Oh, thanks. He's one of my favorites. I've got a Blondie one that's peach colored. I've got Ramones one. I need a Sex Pistols one. I want a Motley Crue. I want a bunch of different ones. I can just wear them here. But hey, even Ethan Van Sciver went after them now. So anyway, I gotta go because the monster wants out. I gotta throw the ball for him. So anyway, I'm really, really sorry. Real Review. God, I'm sorry. I wanted to be here longer, but I gotta get my 10,000 steps in too. Go to my latest video and drop your email, okay? And I will let you know I got it. And then what I'll do is I'll take it off the video. Just I'll take the comments off so no one else sees it, so you don't get spammed by. One more thing before I go. I've got a stalker called the Snowman. If you guys haven't noticed, if you go on every morning I wake up with about 75 comments screaming at me, and I blocked him incessantly, and he keeps coming back under different snowmen names. It's really kind of starting to piss me off. All right. Anyway, so if you see him, report him. Okay. This is Steph signing out. See you around the galaxy. Flag me down. Real review. We'll talk. Talk to y'all later. Be good. Stay warm.